Hello everyone, how are you doing? We are Punya Study Circle and welcome you in our classroom. Students, today we are going to study about forms of business organization. That means type of ownership that a business organization can have. Here question arises why we need to know about the form of business organization. Dear student, the form of business organization or type of ownership that a business organization does have determines its external existence or its external appearance, have third parties while they are interacting with any business entity to know that who is the person or group of persons who are having authority in a business entity to make decisions, that whether they need to talk with the sole trader or individual owner, to the group of persons called partners, to the karta of joint Hindu family, or to the board of directors in case of a company, or the management committee in case of cooperative society, to the secretary of department in case of departmental undertaking, and to the concerned officer in case of public sector enterprises, and CEOs and chief financial officer and chief operating officer in case of government company. Here we will also have some designated authority. So it also helps the legal authorities to point out actual culprit in case of violation of any kind of law, be they are business law, corporate law, or environmental law. Let's start our studies. Here we have divided form of business organization or type of ownership that a business organization can have in three categories called private sector, public sector, and joint sector. Here sector means group of institutions that are having similarities. Private means all those business entities which are owned and controlled by private individuals, group of individuals, or corporate houses. Here all those business entities which are owned and controlled by government, be it the central government, state government, local level government, or a combination thereof. Here we are having joint sector called public-private partnership. They are those business undertakings which are generally established for execution or implementing constructional project or infrastructure development project. Here we are having ownership and control organized by both private as well as public sector. Starting with the private sector, here we have divided private sector owned enterprises into two categories. You may call them traditional and modern, or you may also call them registered, non-registered, and registered, or non-incorporated and incorporated. These are those business entities which are called non-incorporated. That means registration is not required in case of sole tradership, partnership, joints, Hindu family, and joint venture. Whereas if we want to establish company and cooperative society, we must get registered these kind of business entity under the specific act that is enforced in the particular kind of country. Here we are talking about the sole tradership. Sole tradership means a form of business organization which is owned and controlled by a single individual. So he has all the authorities to make decisions. Consequent result will also to belong to him. Whether he earn profit or he suffer loss, entirely he will be responsible for all the actions being taken by him. Then we are talking about partnership. As a result of some of the limitations that have been suffered by the sole tradership, like unlimited liability, not having availability of management skill, that means all disciplinary approach, and limited amount of resources, we invented a new form of business organization that is called partnership. It is that form of business organization in which two or more individuals will come together, establish a business entity, make collective decisions, and whatever is the result are being shared among them. That is called partnership. Then we are having joint Hindu family. It means a business enterprise which is owned and controlled by an undivided joint Hindu family, or the decisions are being made by the senior most member of the family called Karta. Members are having limited liability but they don't have any authority to make decisions. Then we are having joint venture. Joint venture means a combination of two or more business entities for attainment of some common goal or execution of some predetermined project. Here we are having incorporated private sector enterprises, joint stock company, and cooperative society. Joint stock company is a form of business organization which may have large number of members. If it is a public company, if it is having private company, it can have at max 200 members. It is basically any business entity which is registered under Companies Act 2013 or any of the Companies Act remain enforced in our country for the time being. You can also define joint stock company as artificial person created by law having separate legal existence from its member perpetual succession and common seal. That means any entity which is having separate legal existence from its member and exists in the sight of law, it has authority to make any decision in its own name, and whatever decisions are being made by the designated authority, they experience the superimposition of the company's stem, be they are board of directors or any kind of authority that is designated as decision-making authority by the owners. Then we are talking about cooperative society. It is a voluntary association of persons which is formed for satisfaction of mutually agreed goal. That means whatever common objective is that of the group of persons, it is established for attainment of it, and generally cooperative society get registered under Cooperative Society Act 1912 or any of the state cooperatives act. Then we are having public sector, or those business entities which are owned and controlled by government, either fully like departmental undertaking or partially like public sector enterprises and government company. When we are talking about departmental undertaking, these are those business institutions which are fully owned and controlled by the government, be it the state government or central government. The concerned ministry has authority to make all the supervision and control related work. The secretary of the concerned department in a particular ministry is called chief executive officer, who has to work under the supervision and control of the minister of the ministry, and he has to also report to the concerned minister heading the ministry. Generally, these kind of business enterprises are established to provide essential services to the public at affordable price. Here you can give the example of Indian Railways Department, Indian Postal Services, etc. All these institutions have been established to provide essential services to the public at affordable prices. So they are department undertaking, and the highest officer will be the secretary of department, to whom you can call chief executive officer, who will be always accountable to the minister heading concerned ministry. Then we are talking about public sector enterprises, public sector undertakings, or you may also call them statutory company. These are those government-owned institutions which are established by enacting a special act. Here you can give the example of Reserve Bank of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, Bharat Earth Mover Limited, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, Hindustan Petrochemical Limited, Bharat Petrochemical Limited. All these are the example of public sector undertaking in which at least 51% of the owner's capital is being owned by the government. Government appoint IAS officers or the Indian Revenue Services officer as the highest authority of these entities. Then we are having government company. Government company means a company which is having at least 51% owner's capital from the government, be it the state government or central government, and registered under section 2 subsection 45 of Indian Companies Act 1956 or 2013. Specifically, when we are talking about section 2 subsection 45, we are talking about Companies Act 2013 and the related section under Companies Act 1956 and any of the previous Companies Act that have remained in force in India. Then we are talking about public sector or public-private partnership. You can call them joint sector. That means those business entities which are established in the form of agreement, either for a particular period of time or completion of a particular project. Generally, like we are having infrastructure development project, development of highways, some bridges, laying of the optical fiber network, metro train services, etc. In these kind of infrastructure projects, we use what kind of ownership? Joint sector ownership or public-private partnership. Generally, government provide resources that are required for implementation and construction of infrastructure, whereas private sector provide technology and managerial efficiency, which they are having best in terms of decision-making power. So these kind of entities are called joint sector enterprises. Here you can give the example of Mumbai Metro Corporation, Delhi Metro Corporation, and Reliance Energies, etc. So this is all about what kind of business organizations we can experience in our economy. I'm sure that you are clear with all these forms of ownership or forms of business organization. If you like our lectures, you must subscribe and share this with your friends. In our next lecture, we'll be talking about sole tradership, and subsequently we'll be discussing about each of these business enterprises. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye. See you soon.